Alright. We're rolling? I can never tell with you. Alright. You gotta have like a hand signal for it or something. So, basically, I think it's gonna lock soon. But it tends to overshoot. And I think it has some bugs. So it never really quite locks perfectly, but it overshot. It overshot. It overshot significantly that time. So yeah, I think when both the reference clock and the local oscillator trigger at about the same time, the phase detector circuit misses it and the motor runs for a full cycle, and then it really overshoots bad. So basically, as soon as you get close to being locked, it throws it way off. Maybe that's a design flaw. This was my first attempt at building it. I just built the circuit and it almost worked the first try. So it's trying really hard to get it in sync. Alright, so let's crank the period of this much longer and then just watch the motor run it that way for a bit. I've got a disassembled cassette tape recorder. It's got some gearing between the motor and the spindle, so that reduces the speed somewhat. But then I have this gearbox here, which is a 1 to 24, or 24 to 1, followed by another 24 to 1 reduction. And then, of course, these bands will reduce the angular velocity as well. But I think the overshoot is essentially synonymous to phase noise in an actual PLL, which means if I reduce this ratio even further, perhaps I'd get less overshoot. But then it would take much longer to lock, and human lives are finite, and I can't stare at this forever. Yeah. So it did a bit of overshoot. Have we just overshot once here? That was after I adjusted the reference clock. So this is the first overshoot. It should be rather large. And then it should come back, and the overshoot should be a little bit smaller, and, ideally it levels out, but not actually, because the phase detector's made out of, well, 5 relays and 4 diodes, and I don't think it's sophisticated enough. And our integrator is a tape machine, and our VCO is an industrial timer. Now you want to take a angle from the front panel. If this monstrosity has a front panel, it's here. This shuts off the VCO, this shuts off the reference clock, this is the main power, and this shuts off the motor, for example. We might have to edit this down a bit.